count on you. I thought we had a deal. I gave you all I had. Put you in front of friends. It was me and you. For it was one of them. I introduced you to them. I should have seen it then. It was never about me. It's what I could do for you. What you could get about me. Who I could introduce you to. I knew the truth. Still there was nothing I would do for you. A fool for you. You break my legs. Still jump through hoops for you. I thought we had a deal. 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 It's hard to let you go when I'm still holding on. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, should be moving on. This shit is stupid hard, and I ain't ready for it. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, I ain't ready for it. They weren't there for it, no, they weren't there, were they? They weren't there when she despaired to have her prayers working. She wanted to die daily, and I was 9 maybe. I'm on the couch with mom, talking about don't cry, baby. We'll be alright, baby. Yeah, we gon' make it through. I'm scared to death inside, but I know I can't let it through. I ain't know where to turn, I didn't know what to do. You gave me hope when there was none. I owe my life to you. I thought we had a deal.
Leave me not ready to let you go. Let you go. I'm begging, don't leave me. Take anything you want, everything if you want it.
You gave my life purpose before it had any. You gave me courage when I didn't have any. We were the best of friends before I had any. I gave you all I had. You turned your back to me. You set a trap for me. I never seen it coming. You had me blind to if I didn't want to feel you numb it. You left my life a wreck, and I hate you for it. I'm still in love with you, and I hate you for it.
Yes, sir. Welcome to St. John Live on this Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Mike St. John. I am in long-term recovery. My sobriety clean day June the 1st, 2016. How are y'all doing out there, man? How's y'all's day going? I'm going to speak a little bit, man. I had the opportunity Saturday to go speak at the Token Club Recovery Easter Bash put on by the Kentucky Crusades, man. It was just an awesome event to see everybody together, man. And, we've been locked down on COVID for, 2 years, but these recovery rallies are getting back up popping, man. And it was just awesome to be together as a whole, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what recovery is about. Addiction separates everybody. Recovery brings everybody together, man. And it was just an awesome feeling to be there. So shout out to the Kentucky Crusades. Shout out to the Token Club for putting on an awesome event. I'm going to give a shout out here to my page sponsor, One Stop Phone Shop out of London, Kentucky, 606-657-2750. Josh Maxey and Darrell Hudson. Go check out GetLive.com, recovery apparel, man. Adam Larkin, he's out there on the streets, dude, just doing it. Came from nothing. Now he's got his own clothing line, man. GetLive.com. If y'all don't care, hit that share button, man. Get this out to the groups. Hit the heart button. Let's get them hearts up. A lot of people's out there struggling, man. They're relapsing. They're dying. And, maybe something in this live stream tonight could help somebody. Post your all's clean date, sobriety date. I'm going to do mine here. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm down in Richmond, Kentucky. But yeah, grateful to be here, man. I'm going to speak a little bit on myself. I've had a rough 3 or 4 days, man, just in my head, fighting them voices up here, man. Big St. John Live. I see you, Jeff Sample, but, drugs and alcohol is not a solution, man. And, life shows up, man, responsibilities, children. We get in our way, man. Shout out to my wife, Marie St. John. I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. But, it's just amazing, man, to be clean and sober. Coming up on June the 1st, I'll have 6 years only by the grace of God. But I know we only got today, man, but maybe that's a hope shot for somebody, man. We do recover, man. We can live life without alcohol and drugs. I'm going to get in these comments here, and let's give some shout-outs before we get started. Let me get up top here. Joe Price, welcome. Good evening, bud. Robert Martin, Hope Center, welcome, buddy. Sally Devine, always here, welcome. Nate Awanko, I can't say that. I hope I said it the best. Welcome. Lisa Marie Reed out of Indiana, welcome. Judy Lynn Todd, good evening, welcome. Johnny Abney, what up, people? Hope y'all had a great Easter. Yeah, I had a good Easter, man. I had to work 8 to 4, got home, and just enjoyed it with the kids, man. And, he has risen. Matthew Hubbard from the Hope Center, that's my right-hand man. Let's see. Andrea Spivey, hey, everyone, welcome. Having a great day. God bless. Yeah, Sean McCarty, I see you. Wow. Welcome. Hit that share button one time, player. Super excited for the 30th. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this out there, man. April the 30th from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We are having the first annual St. John Live Recovery Rally in my hometown of Corbin, Kentucky, the town that counted me out, the town that talked about me, the town that said I was a no good. We're bringing hope back to the hometown, man. April the 30th, 2022. Corbin, Kentucky. We got a lot of sponsors involved, man, a lot of donors. We're going to have podcasts there. We're going to have Narcan training. We're going to have resources. We're going to have rides to treatment that day. If you're out there struggling in Corbin, Kentucky area, like I was 6 years ago, we want you to show up. If you're out there drinking and drugging, we want you to show up. Let us love you. Let us hug you and let us show you that, recovery is possible. There's a better way to live. But yeah, Joe and Crystal Van watching from Corbin, Kentucky. Dave Russian, I see you. Donut Dave, Hope Center, 32613. Jeff Sample, Big St. John Live. I saw it on my phone a while ago. Now I'm seeing it on my comments here. Maram Addington from Stanford watching. Let's see, who else we got in here? Frankie Mason from Richmond. You're in Richmond, Frankie? Holler at me after this show, man. I'd like to see you, bub. Dave Russian's heading to bed. Okay, Dave, I love you, bub. Go to bed. Gregory Green, I see you, boy. Bill Callahan, hey, bro, always doing great work, man. Love watching you. Good old East Bernstadt, Kentucky. Bill's been with me, man, since I was in the madness many, many years ago, man, and he's a true soldier, man. He never judged me, never talked about me, man. He always helped me, man. He's still helping me and supporting me today. He's always going to be there. Courtney Reeves, welcome. Jason O'Neill, I see you. Hope Center, boy. Haley Martin, me in my office checking in from Riverside Recovery in Ohio. That's what I'm talking about. Casey Riley, 8521, the Lotus House. Okay. I can't say that. Heidi, what up, peeps? Optimal living in the house. We got Oxford House, Cameron Arnold running late. Hey, you're here. That's all that matters, bub. Courtney Reeves out of Moorhead, Kentucky. Randy Ham, I love you, bud. Proud of you. Aaron Turner, how are we doing, buddy? We're kicking like chickens. We just got fed. You hear me? We wide open up in here tonight. Michael Bolton, always 72319. But yeah, let's see here. Where was I at? Anyway, our guest tonight, man, it's Jamie Luster, one of my good buddies, man. He's down from the 606 area code, which now he's in Lexington, Kentucky, man. And I watched this guy come in, and he was beat up, broke, busted, disgusted, man. No hope, no smile, mad at the world. You know what I'm saying? Today he's one of my good friends, man. Like I told him, just sit still, Jamie, man. It's going to get better, and that's what he did. He took suggestions, and today he's a productive member of society. He's happy, he's free, and he's a hope shot for people, man. And that's what it's about. When we think there's no life left in us, when we think there's not another second, when we think recovery's not possible, when we think the world's out to get us, man. Brittany Clemens, I'm sorry, I didn't see your comments. They might have scrolled by, but yeah, Brittany Clemens always in here from Indiana. We love you, and shout out to Brittany Clemens one time. But Jamie, he was one of those guys, man. It took him more than one try, man, and that's somebody's story, and it's just amazing, man, to see where he's at today. To work with these guys and to see them complete treatment, man, and go out on the leap of faith. They say faith without works is dead, and that's true. You know what I'm saying? Don't let fear stop you, man. We got to go through fear. But with that being said, man, I'm going to bring him on here. We're going to get this thing started. What up, Jamie?
All right.
You got you. Yeah, I see you. Now unmute that. Bye-bye.
Yeah, what's up, man?
No, I'm glad to have you on here, man. I was just
problem.
in here. I'm proud of you, dude. I was telling a little bit of your story, man, when I met you. And me being from Corbin, you down from old Williamsburg one time, and I was just a shining light to you, man. And I'm grateful you stick and stayed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm grateful you was here, man, so I could finally get to see somebody from where I'm from down there making it and doing the deal, man. Because like when I get started, if you don't care.
Yeah, let's get it.
My name's Jamie. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date's 8/21/2018, and for that day will be eternally grateful for that. It's not my first sobriety date, but hopefully, if it's God's will, that'll be the only one that I have for the rest of my life.
Yes, sir.
But I was born in Hazard, Kentucky, to a single mother, and we lived with my grandmother early on in my life. And I don't know, man. Like my mom, she just. I really don't remember a lot of it. I know I went to go live with my grandparents, because they wanted to give me a better life, and it just, I always felt last thing, because my mom wasn't around, my dad wasn't around, and I was always really bothered by that, early on. I remember going to counseling as a child. I remember getting picked on as a child. Because my grandparents raised me, like on parent teacher day and conferences and stuff like that, your grandparents is coming in there and all the other kids, their moms and dads was coming in there.
Yep.
And they would be like, well, where's your mom and dad at? I remember with the other kids one time, and I'm like, that is my mom and dad. And it was like, that's no way, man. They're too old. And stuff. So I felt, last thing right off the rip, on top of the fact of like, my mom's not around. She can't love me. If she did, she'd be around. My dad the same way. I was like, so from a real early age, I felt, just not having that love, and my grandparents doing everything that they could to make sure. And they did, man. They give me a life I could only, have dreamed of, from what, they made sure I had anything and everything I wanted, and my grandmother, I hate to say it, but she ended up being my greatest enabler, my biggest enabler, later on. And so I kind of, it progressed on. I was still having problems, just raising all kinds of Cain in school, staying in trouble all the time. And I got sent to Christian private school. Don't need a Baptist. And I come home, they let me come home because they got tired of paying all that money for me to go to school there. And they thought I'd straightened up. I got baptized, to try to make it look good.
I'm healed.
Yeah, I'm healed, And it just, I come home and I started going to city schools and Corbin city schools. And it's like, I felt like I never fit in because I lived out in the county, down in Woodbine. And, but I went to school in Corbin, but I never really hung out with them kids. I always hung out with the kids in the county around where I lived at. And about 13 years old, man, I was always, my grandparents sheltered me my whole life. I never was really allowed to go stay all night unless, they knowed your parents and this and that.
Yeah.
Just one of them deals, man. And it just, when I remember there was some kids moved in the holler. My papa sold their family some property, and we started sneaking around and smoking a little marijuana, man. And
right.
I remember how it made me feel. It was like I could talk because I was always a real shy, quiet kid. Because I always felt less than like I wasn't good enough, like I didn't fit in, and it got me to where I could open up. I could talk and this and that, and then one thing led to another, and we'd start drinking. We'd started sneaking and drinking on the weekends, man. And I remember I was a blackout drinker from the word go. I mean, get so drunk I'd puke all over myself. I mean, just crazy, man, just crazy. And I liked it while I'd be doing it, but when I'd get up the next day, I'd feel like crap and I'd be embarrassed. And, I'd just like run and hide, like a ostrich with the head, putting its head in the sand, just embarrassed. And it went on like that for years, and it got to the point to where if I wasn't drinking or smoking marijuana, I just felt like I wasn't normal. You know, I do this so I can feel normal.
Yep.
And I felt that, man, at like 15, maybe 16 years old, that early. You know, maybe at 14 when it started, you know, because that's when I really originally felt the normalcy. I thought that was normal.
Yeah.
You know, and like when I started getting out, you know, and being able to run around with my friends and stuff, you know, I always would see, you know, people would work and they would drink on Fridays and Saturdays and they'd go back to work come Monday.
Yep.
So I thought that was normal. I thought, you know, you work all week, you know, and that's what you do. But I didn't realize, hey, man, you're in school. You need to get an education so you can have a life, you know. And I remember my grandparents, man, they put me in counseling and they couldn't understand why I was acting out like this. And then I remember one time they took me and I seen this counselor over there at Cumberland River Comprehensive Care.
Yeah.
To go to family counseling because they was trying to figure out why I was acting out like this because they didn't know that I was, you know, my papa knowed I drank on the weekends because, you know, he kind of knowed, but you know, drinking, it wasn't really looked at as a big deal. You know, that's a phase he's going through. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it never was all right, man. It just got worse and worse and worse until it led into, you know, I started taking Xanaxes, you know, and like, man, those things destroyed my life, man. And it's like, I would black out. I would go off, you know, I would steal them off my grandmother, her a terminally ill cancer patient.
Yep.
That's where addiction took me. I would steal off my own mother.
Mm-hmm.
That woman was my mother. She might have been my grandmother, but that's who raised me. That was my mom. So my step grandfather was that was my dad. And I would just steal off both of them. Money. I remember one time she picked me up. She would because they would have to take me and pick me up from school where I went to city schools. And I would steal money out of her purse, $100. I remember I would steal. I would like, well, we need to stop and check the mail, you know. And she would go in and check the mail. I'd be in her purse stealing Xanaxes and money.
Yep.
You know, just so I could, hey, man, look, I got money. We go get some weed, you know, ride 4-wheelers, do whatever. You know, that's just what we did. And it was like, it was a cycle, man. And like, I get it now. I didn't get it then, but like, it gets worse, never better. And it did. And it just always got worse and worse and worse, you know. Like one thing led to another, to another, to another, to another. And then like my grandfather, he had a stroke and it really messed me up, Mike. It's like,
yeah,
I remember waking up and my uncle's kids was in for summer vacation and I woke up, everybody screaming and freaking out. And I walk in there and there he is laying on the floor, you know, practically dead at that moment. You know, he's still breathing a little bit, but you know, in my mind, he's dead.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the man I thought walked on water. And after that, man, he never was right. And it about sent me over the edge, you know. I think like 3 months after that, I OD'd 3 times in 1 week on Xanaxes and whiskey. My grandmother brought me to the Ridge. She had a friend that her son had got clean to the Ridge here in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought me up here. I was still in high school, man. I was like 18 or 19 years old. You know, I mean, that's how quick it progressed from 14 to 18, that fast. And it was just, I remember coming up here and I was like, I need something to calm me down before we get up here.
Yeah.
And I talked to my grandmother like a dog till she gave me like 2 or 3 Xanaxes.
Yep.
And she gave them to me because she wanted me. I was like, if you don't do it, I'm not getting the help. You can take me home. I'll get out right now on the side of the road. I'll walk, whatever. And anyway, we get here, we get there, we go in, and this lady, she's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's just like, I didn't want the help. Didn't think I had a problem.
Yeah.
And I just wrote up here because I know I could weasel my mama out of some more pills.
Yep.
I mean, plain and simple. That's what I did, you know. And it just, I remember telling the lady, she told me, she said, sir, if you don't quit, she said, you'll be dead in 30 to 90 days. You'll be dead. I mean, I was already to the point, man. If I didn't have them, I'm like, yes. I still shake to this day a little bit, you know. If you pay attention and you know me, you're around me, I do that. I jump and everything still. Where it messed up my nervous system, where I'd eat so many of them. And I'm not bragging about it. I mean, I'm just, but you know, it was misery, man. It's just misery, and I got up and walked out, you know. And it's weird how later on, you know, it comes back around, and I'll tell that here in a little bit about that lady. I mean, it was crazy. It blew me away this time for real. But, you know, my life went on. I'd been with this girl from the time we was 15 till we was like probably 26 or 27 years old. I mean, my mind so gone from drug addiction, man, that I, you know, moments I see and, you know, and remember something. And we had 2 children. And those kids didn't even make me stop getting high, man. With that, you know, everything in me, I wanted to. I wanted to be able to stop. And it didn't straighten me up. You know, my grandfather ended up passing away. I didn't stop. You know, my grandmother terminally ill with cancer. I didn't stop. You know.
Nope.
Everybody in my family begging me, Jamie, you got a problem. You need to get some help. Now, the only problem I got, y'all won't leave me alone.
Yeah. Or give me more dope.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like, just, it's like everything I've ever, you know, like everything I ever come in contact with, man, it was like the book says, I run through a tornado, like, you know, just disaster. Yes. Everything I ever put my hands on, disaster.
Yep.
And I sit back, you know, like today, and I look around and I think about where I'm at and, you know, and what I've accomplished, you know, and I forget that sometimes because I'm hard on myself, you know, because I know, you know, up here, the life and the pain and the heck I put my family through and my people through and myself, you know, it was real hard to forgive myself, you know, but what it ended up leading to is both my children being took for my drug addiction, me going to prison. You see what I'm saying? And when I was in prison, I went through the SAT program when I was in a Class B halfway house. And there was this doctor there, and his name, I can't remember his name, but he run the DAP program, which is like the drug program in the feds. They done the DAP program in the house that I was in the feds up there in Covington. Right. And he's the one that had really helped me realize, like, I never thought my drug addiction bothered anybody else but me. You know, I thought I was the only person that it ever affected or hurt or anything like that, you know.
Yep.
And he helped me realize, you know, he's like, Jamie, no. He said, where's your children at? Where's your, you know, your family at? You know, and it's like, I didn't have nobody, Mike. My grandparents, the people that raised me, my grandparents, the only people I thought that ever loved me my whole life, both of them gone.
Yep.
My kids, I didn't even know how to be. I never really had a dad. I had my grandfather, and he tried to do the best he could, you know, but I fit and fought him at tooth and nail the whole way, him and my grandmother both.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really didn't know how to be a dad, man. And it bothers me, you know, and it still does. You know, I forgive myself a little bit for it, but, you know, it's like, but even though at the end of the day, none of that was good enough to make me quit. I got out. I done 36 months. My first time damn never been in trouble a day in my life, dude. And I ain't bragging about it. That's just my story, you know.
Right.
But what I'm saying is it wasn't good enough to make me stop.
No.
I come out of prison I come out April 1st of 2016 and weighing 265 pounds by Thanksgiving of that same year. I was headed back to treatment the first time, and I weighed 136 pounds.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? I never would stop. You know, I still didn't get it. I've learned a little lingo. I'm even remember at the parole board, man. The lady, she said, it sounds to me like you ain't done nothing but learn some fancy lingo.
Not the lingo.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, I don't even think you learned anything except how to talk fast a little bit and be able to, tell us what you think we want to hear. She said, I
Yeah.
think you ought to get deferred.
Wow.
Yeah. And, and she was right. At the end of the day, she was right because I didn't do nothing. I lost that much weight because I was out back getting high again.
Yeah.
And then what happens? I go to ask for, I get a bunch of dirties, man. I think I had like 27 admissions of guilt from October of 2016 till I got locked up in August of 2018 in Louisville Metro. 26 admissions of guilt of getting high to methamphetamine. Kicked out of 4 or 5 out, at least 5 IOP programs in the city of Louisville.
Yeah.
And I'm not bragging about that, man. I'm just talking about when you're in the grips of addiction. I had a love affair with that, and it about took my life, and I knowed it was killing me. I remember I was up there, man, and I hadn't talked to my family in like 3 months. I lived downtown, okay, and they lived out on the East End, and, it's like my birthday. They hadn't seen me since Christmas, because they just didn't want to go around them. I know how bad I was.
Right.
And they come pick me up, and I got in a vehicle. My sister starts bawling. She's like, you look like death.
What'd you say? No, I don't.
I said, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. Wipe it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Just rub it off, fix my hair. I'm fine. I don't know what you talking about. I mean, but I think that's just what do you call it, man? Full flight from reality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just
Delusional.
outright mental defective, like the book says. That's what I was. And I just didn't see it, man. I didn't want to see it. I didn't care. I felt like, this life had took everything from me anyway. What else can they take?
Right.
Eventually, I'm going to have to serve out. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so they locked me up in Metro, and my PO comes to see me. He lets me sit there for like 20 days, and he comes to see me finally, and he's like, he said, well, I got you a bed and treatment finally. I said, man, look, I said, I'm treatment it out. I went to the VOA. Dude that does your intro done my intake at the VOA. I run off because I dropped
Ricky
it.
Green.
Yeah.
Ricky Green. Yeah.
I'd conned them into letting me go to the healing place. I'd left there. They couldn't. I wanted to go across the street to IOP. They, I was mad because they couldn't get my insurance straightened out. Not realizing them people was just trying to help me, and so it's like I'd left there, and then my PO just, come see me. I was like, man, I'm going to happy hour and I'll come talk to you. He's like, no, you better be here at 1:00. So I go down there, he locks me up. He finally comes and sees me after he lets me sit there. He's like, I got you a bed and treatment. I was like, man, I'm treatment it out. I'm done with treatment. He's like, well, he said, here's your options. You can sign this paper and sign this 1.5 years of good time away, and you can go to treatment. He said, or you can not sign it. I still take your 1.5 years of good time, and I lock you up and send you back behind the fence.
No.
So I was like, I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, you know what, man? One last time. And I signed that paperwork. I didn't ask him where I was going or nothing. And he's like, I'll be here at 8:00 in the morning. He's like, well, first he's like, you think your family would come get you and take you? I was like, man, my brother-in-law and sister ain't going to come get me. You know how mad they are at me. And it just, so he's like, I'll be here tomorrow morning to get you. So I was like, all right. So about 9:00, they call your name, pack it up. I'm like, thank God I'm leaving Metro. That was my biggest fear the whole time I'm in Louisville. I was like, man, I really don't want to go to Metro. You hear all this bad stuff that goes on, but it happened. It's another place I went to it. I swore I'd never, and he come pick me up, and I was like, so where are we going, man? I said, I forgot to even ask. He's like, I'm taking you to Lexington to the Hope Center.
Here we go.
And I'd heard of this place like one other time, man. And I remember when I was in prison, there was a guy that was from here that was there in the halfway house with me. And he's like, man, don't go to Louisville, Jamie. You just gonna mess up. No, man, I need a change, geographical change. I just, no, I'm going to Louisville. And he said, no, man, you need to go to the Hope Center. See, there's this dude named Dave B. there. I won't say what Frenchie said about him, but But anyway, we come down here, man. And I wear that little hat to where they put me in the Hannibal Lecter box and all this and that. Again, I'm like this, and just disgusted, man. Again, 4th treatment center since 2016. I'm sick of it, man, for real.
Yeah.
Don't want to be here, mad, but don't want to sit in jail. Don't want to go behind the fence. So what? You only got one option. You sign the paper and you go to treatment. And I guess I kind of looked at it as like, man, that's the closest I've been to home in 7 years, 6, 7 years. So it's like, all right. So we roll up here, and they get me out, and he takes the boxes off of me, and I walk in. There's a Donnie sitting on the couch, and he gets up. He's like, "Here, man, sit down, have a seat." And I sat down. He goes in there. My PO goes in there and talks to Mr. Kane, and I'm sitting out there, and Donnie's like, "I love you, man." I was like, "Man, you don't even know me. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear none of that right now." Just mad, like you said, man. I was mad. Irate.
He was evil. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to be here, Mike. I mean, it's like, I always thought, man, I really had convinced myself in my mind that I had come to the terms of being okay as dying an addict.
Yep.
It's like, well, if that's the way I got to go, that's the way I want to go. I want to take a shot of dope and just be done with it.
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting and thinking about things, man, like things that I should have done better, and I could have done this better. And if I'd only done this, or I could only done that, and just when it's just me and in that craziness, in that madness, man, just losing my mind. And I remember taking shots like that to try to kill, when it not working, and me not understanding why. But when I come here, man, it took me a while. Like I remember, I was here, I remember calling my sister, and I was like, I need the rehab bag. That's how sick that is that, these people had never done nothing. I mean, maybe drink a beer every now or a glass of wine or something,
right.
And that was back then, and they had just got used to me saying that lingo, I need the rehab bag, or I felt comfortable talking that lingo with them, and she's like, I heard her take this deep breath, and she's like, what happened to the stuff we bought you when you was at the healing place? And I was like, well, it probably got donated when I got locked up.
Right.
And I heard her take another deep breath, and she goes, she's like, well, me and Dennis has been looking on the internet and come to find out that place has a clothing closet. So I'd suggest that's where you get your stuff at, because we're done with you until you learn to straighten your life up and do the right thing.
Wow. How'd that set in?
Man, it broke my heart. I broke down and cried right there. I mean, what could I, I mean, really. After my grandmother passed away, she was, anything I needed, I could always call her. She never wanted to believe I'd done anything wrong. But she know,
Yep.
Like they got to the point of where they wouldn't give me money. Like if I needed food when I lived in Louisville, they would go to the grocery store and get what I needed, you know, the basics, you know, just the same story, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't do that. You want me to wear somebody else's socks and things like that? And she was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm done. She never told me that, you know. So I had the same day this happened, man, I had this idea and this plan. I'm like, well, I'm going to go to the library because I just got off property. I was getting off property that day because you were on property restriction for so many days before you could leave. And I'm running around. I'm asking everybody to know anything about this town because there's a couple guys that had been back through, you know, they was coming back through. And I asked one of them, and I was like, man, how you get to the library? So I drawed me a map of how to get to the library. I'm going to the library to get a hold of one of my buddies, having come get me, you know, let alone thinking that my PO just told me like probably 10 days ago, man, you messed this up, I'm serving you out. Needless, and to remind you, my max is like to 2025. And I got here in 2018. I was like, man, I don't care. So I go upstairs, I make this phone call. I don't even know why I made the phone call if I was going to leave.
Right.
You know, I think I was just trying to convince myself to do it and really didn't want to. And when she told me no, you know, I was fully convinced in, man, I'm going. You know, you ain't going to help me. The heck with this. I'm gone.
Yep.
And Lee Moore walks upstairs and he's like, man, where you been? I was like, man, I've been sitting right here, been on the phone. He's like, you know, you missed check-in. I'm like, are you serious? I was like, man, I never left the building.
I know, like, that's crazy.
He's like, you're 15 minutes late to check-in. He's like, go see Clayton. So I go down there. I'm like, yeah, Clayton. I said, Lee's sent me down here. Oh, you're Mr. Lester, he said. You know. I'm like, yeah. I was like, he's like, so where you been? And I said, man, don't even worry about it. Just do what you're going to do. It don't matter to me anyway.
Yeah. Flip mode.
Yeah. Zero to ignorance, you know. And he said, well, fine then, have it your way. I was going to let you off of it and just talk to you, you know, see if I could talk to you, you know, because you ain't been here that long. He said, but have it your way. Puts me on it, you know. I go to community that next Friday. Don't even get it called. It don't even show up on the issues nowhere. MT coordinator, he's like, anybody got any issues and concerns? And he's looking right at me, you know. One of my buddies sitting next to me, and I said, he's from down there where I'm from. I said, man, I'm going to hold myself accountable. He said, man, you're an idiot. He said, you know, they're going to put you on 30-day property. He said, none telling what else. I said, man, I'm going to do it. And I go to lift my hand. MT coordinator, he asked again. He said, you sure they ain't nobody got no issues or concerns? He looking around like this, you know. I go to lift my arm up. My buddy pulls it back down. He said, man, he said, how can you be from Knox County? There ain't nobody from Knox County going to do nothing like that.
Yeah.
I said, man, get off me. I said, I'm trying to do something different. I said, I'm tired of living like this. You know, the part I didn't tell you is when all that was finished with Clayton and Lee, I went back upstairs. I hit my knees, man. I prayed to God. I was like, man, please help me. I said, I'm tired of doing this.
Yep.
I'm tired of being a disaster and a fuck up.
Yeah.
Because that's what I felt like. I was like, I'd get hit for being 15 minutes late to check into a building I never even left. I said, well, who does that?
You do.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, man. And I raised my hand. I held myself accountable for that. You know, there was a couple things that I got wrote up for that I didn't, you know, that didn't make the issues. And I held myself accountable for it. I'd never done that. You know, for treatment. This is the first time I'd ever done that. I just wanted something different, man.
Yeah.
I got sick and tired of living like that. I got sick and tired of letting my family down, let alone what my kids was thinking, man. Well, your daddy's in treatment. He's doing real good. And then all of a sudden, just nothing. You know? Right? And I called to check on him. Well, where you at? You working? You ain't paying no child support. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. Well, I'm in treatment again.
Yeah. Let down.
Yeah. Every time, man. Just like I remember growing up as a child, I hated my parents, man, because my mom, because she'd be like, well, she'd call my granny and be like, well, tell him I'm going to come see him, and then never show up.
Yep.
It's weird, man, how that happened, and then I turned around to be the perpetrator of what I was the victim of.
Yeah.
I can sit on here and say that today and be okay with it and not want to go get high, not want to go get drunk off of it like I used to.
Yep.
That's growth for me. It might not be for nobody else, but it is for me. You know, is my life perfect? Do I do everything perfect? No. No way, no how. I just don't get high today, man. That's
Right.
the difference. I get up, I go to work, I'm responsible. You know?
So what made you, like, when did the light come on that you wanted to stick and stay?
When Dave told me to ask me, and my second day in phase, he said, why do you sit there with that stupid ass look on your face every day? No, because I'd come in while I was waiting in the lunch line and I'd sit down in class.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I've been to a couple treatment centers. I've been around some people like him before. And I'd had a little bit of a dry time, what I thought was clean time, but it wasn't nothing like that. I wasn't doing nothing but just a dressed up garbage can, trying to live my life and be in recovery and live somebody else's recovery instead of mine. That's why I always went back out and got high.
Yep.
And when he told me that, and he said, stand up and get free, man. He said, what are you willing to do to get clean and to stay clean? I said, anything. He said, you don't know what anything be. I said, man, don't say that goofy ass shit. I said, man, I'll do anything. I said, I just want you to help me. And he said, stand up and get free.
Yeah. Get free one
I
time.
did. And he taught about, I listened to him speak about that, being the perpetrator of what I was the victim of. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. When you put your kids through that same hell that your parents put you through.
Yep.
And to come out on the other side and try to be a productive member of society and be a part of their life, that's a struggle and a fight, man. And it don't happen overnight. I've been at it 6 years. Do I have conversations? Do I get to talk to them? Yeah. But do they want to talk to me? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It ain't always real pretty and rainbows.
Right.
Hell no, it ain't. You know? But it's a work in progress, and I ain't giving up. You know what I mean? And it's like, I try to put one foot in front of the other every day, man, and continuously try to do the next right thing. You know, things that I learned a long time ago when I first started this process, when I was in a Class B halfway house in Covington, Kentucky. And there was these guys that brought these NA meetings in there, you know. And then through other treatment centers that I was in, you know, I pieced it all together finally, you know, like we was talking about before we come on here, you know. How did it all work? I don't know. It wasn't me. It was something greater than me. Because if it was up to me, I'd probably still be in the West End of Louisville shooting dope, talking to myself.
Yep.
Because I was a low bottom, gutter ass needle junkie. Plain and simple. Didn't care about nothing or nobody, but my next fix and where it's come from. Didn't care how I had to get it.
Yep.
You know, do I work a perfect program? No. But did I get a sponsor and go through these steps? You damn right I did. You know what my sponsor taught me? My sponsor the guy that was my sponsor at the time, give me the greatest gift any person had ever given me in my life. He taught me how to stand on my own 2 feet and be a man and depend on the God of my understanding, of my own understanding, and a fellowship, and open my mouth when something was going wrong with me. And don't open it to everybody, because everybody ain't got your 100% love and concern at heart.
Amen. Say that again.
Everybody ain't got your 100% love and concern at heart.
Yep. And I'm glad you said that, man, because that's a very serious, vital piece of this recovery process, fellowship, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I keep, I keep my circle pretty small, and you're one of them. You're in my circle, man, and me and you clicked from day one. But and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people will use your pain to just make your pain worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, trust is a big issue for me and you both, and I'll speak for us both because we're both from the same part of town, the same wood, the same, but you got to find people, even your sponsor, which we're not even going to talk about a sponsor right now, but the fellowship period. I call them the real friends. I call them my real brothers. I'm calling people that I look up to, people that inspire me, that's really living life on life's terms and, living outside the bubble or starting to live outside the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people that's been clean 5 to 8 years, you know what I'm saying, and still in the same position that they was at the beginning of this journey. I don't want nothing they have. You hear me? I don't want nothing they have. I look up to people that's out here doing what I'm doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of time ahead of you. The process is a little farther than you, man. But you know what I'm saying? We didn't give up. We fought. We talked to each other, man. We can call each other no matter what time it is, man. And I'm not going to tell you the wrong suggestion. If I can't relate to them, I'll say, Jamie, I don't know. I can't help you, bub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you got to find somebody that you can trust in and confide in. And I know whatever me and you discuss, period, it's me and you discussing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not out to harm me. I'm not out to harm you.
That's where the anonymous part kicks in.
Yes. But a lot of people, man, when you share in a meeting or whatnot, and I'm not going to, you got good people, you got bad people, man, but we're all human. But today I can recognize when somebody's struggling. I'm going to use you calling me the other day, man. You was true. You was, I don't know if it was fear or just smacked in the face, man. I'm like, listen, first thing I said after you vented to me, I said, well, what are you going to do about it, Jamie? Huh? What are you going to do about it? And you stood on your feet, man. You done the next right thing, period. And it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But now you take that problem to somebody that don't really care about you. He might be your friend, but he really don't care about you. He's going to give you any suggestion just to stop talking. You hear me?
Yeah.
And that's not what this is about, man. Keep it moving. But, just to see you from when I met you, man, you was hateful. You hear me? You was like a pit bull been on a chain for 10 years. You hear me?
I was a slave to a piece of dope, man, and a needle. That needle run my life.
Yes.
Every aspect. Over my children, my family, any woman that I was ever with. It don't matter. Anything I come in contact with. When I shot that first piece of dope, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
I was an animal. Did you see me in that picture? Did I see you? Okay. That was after I'd spent 6 months in jail.
Yeah.
Fighting my case. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like, I look back at that now, man, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I would look at that picture every day, man, because that's not who you are today, man.
Wow,
God's grace. Listen, I know you've got. I'll speak on you. Like I know you got God in your heart, man, because I see you helping people. And me and you've discussed sometimes, even when you're employable today. You know what I'm saying? You have a position at work, and you'll call me, man. Hey, can we help this guy? Or, how do I handle this situation? Or, do I do this or do I do that? And that's what it's about, man. If we don't know
people employed, man, that's the next phase of this. You transition, like I went through that whole transition. You know, they always told me don't leave till the miracle happens. I would leave every time because it didn't happen fast enough.
Yeah. Wasn't
You
on
know.
Jamie's timing.
Exactly. You know, it didn't happen when I wanted it to happen. So I'd always leave, you know. But this time I stayed. You know, like you said, I stayed in Pyramid what, a year and a half? And it killed my soul to do that.
Hey,
I know when I'm clean, I can go work. I'm good.
I got a guy on here that knows you, man. Turl Souders. You remember him?
I'd have to see him.
Yeah, he said, love this. I remember Jamie from years ago, and it's wonderful to see him clean and sober now. And he's from down home, but, you know, it's good to see those people in here, man.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know him real good. He was wild back in the day. But, you know, let's get back to, you know, far as how is Jamie, like, when you wake up, what's Jamie do to get the day started?
Man, I pray. You know, I pray. And then I get up and I go into the shower. I take a shower, make my coffee, go smoke, take my, you know, I read the daily reflection, you know. Then I come back in my apartment and I sit here in the quietness, you know. And that's what
Peace.
I do. Yeah. Sit here for 30, 45 minutes before I go to work to get my mind right. Because if I don't, I know what it is, man.
Gonna have a bad day.
Yeah. They're not as bad. Like, I don't have as many bad days now as I used to.
Right.
Because I'm calmed down a whole lot.
Oh, I know you have.
Things ain't as bad as things ain't nowhere as bad as it used to be, you know. Life's all right. They appreciate me at my job. They tell me, man, we're glad you work here. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's awesome, though, man.
You're an asset here, you know, not a liability, an asset. You know,
you ain't gonna pass out.
Yeah, they let me do orientation class with the new hires.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God, bro.
That's good stuff, though, man.
Yeah, I can get people jobs, you know. I mean, and I don't try to take no credit for none of that. I'm just talking about that's how I help today. That's what God allows me to do today.
Amen.
You know, I see people that I went through his program with. I've helped them get jobs. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, who would have ever took me as a reference to hire somebody for a job? I'm the dude. I told him at work a couple of weeks ago, I said, man, because we was talking about it, and they was like, yeah, you got to do class. Professor Luster, they got me. And I'm like,
no.
Yeah, I swear. And it's like, I said, man, who would have ever thought the guy that used to come to work, you know, this is the only job I've ever had my entire life. I don't come to work high and tell everybody how bad they suck and how lazy they are. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's the change in me that I see, you know. Do I am I an asshole sometimes? Sure, that's just my personality.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, am I perfect? No. But who is?
No.
I got to do what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some people to be happy has got to do other things, you know. This is what works for me. Might not work for you. It might cause you to go back out. But I've been at this for 7 years. I've pieced this together little by little by little like a puzzle, and it's worked.
Yeah.
Not on my time, on God's time. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Used to, I wanted to take all the credit for that. And I'm not talking like that just because I'm on here. I'll tell you that if you say, you know, it's just the way I am, man. It's like I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody.
Right, right.
I know where I was at, and I know I'm not there today, and I'm damn proud of that.
Amen.
And I forget that sometimes. So I got to have guys like you, some guys like my buddy John, Jake Fry, people like that, Daniel Hager, people like that, man, to tell me, hey, man, quit being so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Because I am, because that perfectionism kicks back in.
Yep. We all are hard on ourselves. The only thing
trying to be perfect ever got me was hiring gas.
Hiring boat gas. Huh? That gas is high right now, ain't it? Huh? But no, on a real talk, man, you know, I'm super proud of you, man. And just to see you helping people, man, instead of harming people, man, is why I do what I do. Not only we're from the same town, man, but to see you finally you're bought in, and you have a connection. I can tell. Like there was a dude in here a while ago said, man, you can see his peace as he's speaking. And we all get tore up sometimes, man. Even I do. But the point of the matter is, man, we don't got to drink or drug, man. We got to get out here and help somebody. Recovery's an action word, man. You got to find this contact, man. And, I can never use drugs or alcohol the rest of my life. Am I okay with that? Yes. I'm okay with that because my life I have today, there's no needle, no.
I think that's when, or for me, that's when I started finding peace, man, is when I was okay with the fact that I could never get high or drink again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't okay with that. I thought, well, one day I'm going to be able to work a job till I can retire and I can move back home and buy me a nice place down on Laurel Lake, and I can buy me a boat. Me and my son can go out on that boat and go fishing, and maybe I can get to drink a beer with my son while we're fishing. And you know how I'd always relapse, Mike, when I'd relapse? Time after time after time, I'd relapse every time. Drinking a cold beer.
Yep.
Remember, because I was the guy, when I come in, I remember I'd always say, well, I'm not an alcoholic because I don't drink, because I know if I did, I come from a long line of alcoholics and I would be an alcoholic for sure.
Yeah.
And this dude he hit me with, he said it begins with a beer and ends with a beer. And I never did get that. And then I had to sit down and think about it one day when I was in this program. And I was like, it did. First thing I ever did was drink a beer. And then the last thing I did at the end was drink a shitty ass Steel Reserve because I didn't have no money to buy no dope.
Yep. That's pretty powerful, man. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just good, man, to be free, man, have a bank account and just be able to do what we want, Or
be able to pick the phone up and do what I had to do the other day.
I know that was
and talk to them people and be like, and be straight up dead honest with them.
Yeah.
And then believe me at the end.
And they believed you. That's the good
give me
part,
a chance.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Blowed away. Gone.
Yeah.
But, it's just amazing to see where you're at, Jamie. I'm proud of you, man. We're going to wrap it up right here real quick. Seth Keith's in the house. I see you, Seth Keith. I love you. Boy, holler at me one time. But, man, you're the true example of change, man. You're the example of, you can go from mad to being happy, man. And just to see you smile and see you, carrying a message, man. And really, speaking the truth is why I do what I do. You're always got a piece in my heart, man. You're a friend. And, it's all the Hope Center. And,
love you, dog. You helped save my life, for real.
I love you. I didn't do nothing but carry a message, man. God put you in my life for a reason. And, I can't take credit for that. Sometimes I do, but I'm just a messenger, man. It's just amazing, dude. I'm super proud of you. But listen, if nobody's told you today they love you, I love you. If nobody's told you they're proud of you today, I am super proud of you. My wife's super proud of you. Matt Bellman's in here. Luster's in here. Not Luster, but DeZarn's in here. It's just amazing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm here anytime. And I love you.
Always. Love you, man.
See you, bub.
See you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Jamie Luster, man, he's a true example, man, that once you buy in, man, you're bought in. We never got a drug or drink again. And, it's just pretty powerful, man, because I met Jamie back in the day, and he was hateful, man. He beat himself up. He didn't want to be in treatment, man, but that's all he knew was prison and treatment, and he sure didn't want to listen to what I had to say. But, we was from the same hometown, and he used to tell me, man, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stay here because, I shine the light on him. And, it was nothing to do with me, man. But, I'm another one. I didn't think I would ever be where I'm at today, man. And it took me surrendering, getting some real friends, accepting God into my life, and working a program, practicing principles. I'm not harming people today. Am I perfect? No. Do I got to lie today? I don't have to. Do I tell the truth all the time? No. I don't know anybody that tells the truth every day. I've yet to meet them, but you know, I'm responsible, man, and it's all because people believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. But anyway, we're gonna get in this, man. I'm gonna get some shout outs here before we get close this up. Joe Price, Jessica Souders, I see you. Jessica's who that was, Jamie. That it wasn't Turtle. I got them mixed up. Joshua King, Matt Bellman, Jason DeZarn, J Dub. I see you, J Dub. Daniel Kitchen, Seth Keith, Jesse Young over in Bowling Green. Love you, boy. But yeah, April the 30th, 2022, Corbin, Kentucky. St. John Live, Hometown Hope from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., man. I'm going back. We're going back to my hometown, and we got some powerful speakers, man. We're going to give away a 58-inch RCA 4K TV. We've got a brand new iPhone 12. We're going to raffle off for $5 a ticket. We've got tons of gift cards to give away. We're going to have a bounce house for the kids. We've got food. We've got pop. We've got everything. We're going to have Isaiah House podcast there, the Q podcast. I may run St. John Live. I don't know yet. But, you know, we're going to have a full house. You know, God's got his hands all over this event, man. And shout out to Troy Hill. I see you, bub. I'll see you April the 30th. You know, our main sponsor is Isaiah House, one-stop phone shop. We've got a lot of donors, man. That's what we're about, is to help Corbin, Kentucky. You know, drugs are not going anywhere and alcohol's not going anywhere. We're bringing hope to Corbin, Kentucky. Y'all put it on your calendar and show up, man. I would love to see everybody there. My Hope Center family's coming. A shout out to my wife for being part of this and pushing this, man. And it's 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Corbin, Kentucky, at the Corbin Civic Center on Highway 312, man, April the 30th. But listen, we're going to wrap this up, man. I'll give a shout out to, you know, the Hope Center, the Isaiah House, man, one-stop phone shop, Get Apparel. Just amazing, man. If you're out there struggling, man, hit me up, hit my wife up, hit anybody up in these comments, man. You know, there's treatment options, detox, IOP services, whatever, man. If you're struggling, hit us up. Let's talk about it. If you're going through some stuff, I see you, John Reeder. I love you, man. If you're struggling, man, you're not alone. I've had a bad few days. My wife's had a bad few days, but guess what? We feel better today, man. All storms pass, the sunlight does come out. But if y'all don't care, man, hit this share button one time, hit the heart button one time. I appreciate all my followers, all my supporters, man, all my family that keep me going, push me on. But, you know, I want to shout out to God, man, for giving me another shot. And here we are. I love y'all. I'll see you next Monday night. We're out.
You ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Gotta know it. You in the wrong building. Know where to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane. I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now. I'm staring at my window.